Hey guys, I'm Joe Theo with Vid Authority. Unfortunately, I have to announce that the 301 Plus Club has been officially closed by YouTube. If you haven't heard, YouTube got rid of the 301 counter that freezes after videos get to 301 views. Just a couple of days ago, YouTube sent out a tweet with a little infographic describing how the new system works. So before, what would happen is after a new video is released, then it would count pretty much all the views up to 301 and just not even really check them and just put them on the counter and up the counter. But once it got to 301, it started really checking which views are legit. So you could get to 301 easily, pretty much just by refreshing the page. But once you got to 301 plus, then it starts checking. There would be a delay, and after a few hours, it would just mass add all the views that it verified. But now how it works is YouTube kind of checks on the fly, and if there are any views that it's pretty sure that it's a real view, we don't know exactly what criteria they use for that, but if there's a view that is pretty obvious that it's real, they add that to the counter, and that can go above 301 plus. There's no limit to how much those probably obvious views can go. And if there's any that are not obvious, then they add that to a queue to be reviewed. So what they said is definitely real views get added, but also some tricky bots. Like if you have a bot that is really good at emulating a real view, then that would get added too. So I don't know if they go back and check all views eventually, but that doesn't really matter to us at this point. But I'm sure they do some checking, and I'm sure that they'll get smarter and better at identifying real views as time goes on. So they might not have to do as much checking and the views counts will go up faster. I actually first found out about this when I released a video on Wednesday, and the views went up to like 600, and I was like, that's weird. Usually by the time it unfreezes, it's at a few thousand. So I was like, they must have changed something. So I went on a couple forums, and sure enough, people were talking about it. I saw the tweet, and I thought I would make a video about it, talking with you guys. Now, the implications of this are not that big. And if we look back, it's not actually surprising, especially considering YouTube released those real-time analytics. And I was kind of wondering, how do they do that if they have to verify views? So I guess it makes sense that they were kind of working towards this, and it was kind of written on the walls that this was going to happen. And you know what? I guess we should have known it was going to happen eventually. The 301 freezer is a bit ridiculous if you think about it. It's so arbitrary, and by this point, they should be able to identify obvious views, so they can. And I guess this really won't change anything besides being able to more accurately see how fast you're getting views. So it's interesting at best, I guess you could say. But if you guys want to talk more about this in the comment section, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So I'm always reading the comments I get on this channel because obviously there's not as many of them, so it's easier to look at all of them. And I'm also on Twitter all the time, and I'm always on, especially after I release new videos, so you can interact with me on there as well. If you want to check out some other videos on the right-hand side, you can just click them, or if you're on a phone, you can look in the description for the same link. And you can subscribe because I try to make new videos 3 times a week, so it should be worth it. So, as usual, I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.